Hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling? This is Lenny, the boss, and there are 7 documents all landlords should keep on file. All right, so I'm gonna give you the 7. Now, there are more documents you should have, but these are the 7 at minimum you should have. All right, one is a rental application. Rental application. All right, so basically, the rental application is going to be used for you to either qualify or deny the potential candidate. So a rental application is really important. All right. Number 2, you should have at least like some tenant screening documents. All right, so what you want to do is you want to create a list of pre-screening questions and ask every applicant the same exact ones. All right, you don't want to stray away from it, unless the situation tells you that you need to ask a question or two depending on some other things you are mentioned. But let me tell you, so there is, I should sit there and say, some data out there that 95% of landlords, all right, believe that tenant screening is the best, all right, and you get high quality tenants, in your rental units because of it. All right, now this next one here is probably the most important one. I probably should have put this one first, but you need a lease agreement. So number 3, you need a lease agreement. So this is just, a document that the tenant, signs and allows them to occupy your property for a specific period of time. Normally you do like 12 months or something like that. You could do longer, you could do shorter, and also it defines the rights and the responsibilities of both the tenant and the landlord. So it's clear, it's on paper and all that good stuff. You don't have anything to worry about. Okay. And that's a legal document. All right. Now, number 4, you need to have or need to know a pet policy. All right. Now, so you're either going to accept pets or you are not. All right. So you can specify in some cases, if you're going to accept them, what types of pets that you want to accept. But make sure you check with your local townships and your local laws, all right, to make sure that you're following all the guidelines there. Now, this one right here, I really love this one. All right, so number 5 is a welcome letter. A welcome letter. So for this one, right, so this means if you're sending out a welcome letter, this means, your candidate is now a tenant and they signed a lease. So you should feel good and great about that. But you should have things in there like just telling them about everything, because they don't know, like when is trash day, when is recycle and how you recycle. That's big and different in every township, and county. Also, how to set up the utilities and the name of the companies and their phone numbers just to make it easier for them. Also, the most important thing is how to pay the rent. All right. I always like to provide at least 2 avenues. I like to provide an electronic one, and I also provide a mailing address, which is my P.O. box, where they can send in a check if that's what they like to do. So there's no excuses. Now, if you have another way where people can pay, then you list that. Okay, and other things you should list in your welcome letter, like restaurants, so they know where they can order some food from and go out to eat if they wanted to. Markets, because obviously they got to shop. The closest parks, because people really love them. Also, I add like local entertainment, and I also like to add the closest public transportation, because that's always good. You don't know what the tenant is going to be doing. Maybe they like to use public transportation, or maybe they can have friends and family use it to get to them. All right. Number 6. All right. Number 6 is you need a move-in checklist. All right. So you say, oh man, what's a move-in checklist? So a move-in checklist, it just helps you keep things on track. It helps track really the condition of your property, and also, what's most importantly, it holds your tenants accountable for any damages, all right, that occurs while they are living there. So without this checklist, think about it. Without this checklist, it'd be basically your word against, their word when that time comes when they need to move out. All right. And then, so you have a check-in checklist. So number 7, you should have some type of check out letter. Okay. So, and at the end of the day, it's going to happen, right? Some tenants will move out, some you want to, and then some you wish can stay much, much, much longer. But for a smooth transition, you want to let them know things like, what are your cleaning requirements? You know, when is going to be your date of final inspection? You know, security deposit deductions. You want to make sure you list them out, you know, if there are some. You know, also, you know, any reminders that are extremely important, you want to make sure you address that. And a good one I always get is basically a forwarding address. You know, that's always helpful because, you know, things still come in and you can forward those things to that tenant on the next place they decide to move. So my friend, there are 7, you know, documents that you need as a landlord. There's a lot more, you know, but those 7 will get you in a right spot and have you on your way. All right, talk to you soon.